World War II. Statisticians are staring at fighter planes coming back from combat. The planes are covered in bullet holes, wings, tail, fuselage. The military's answer is obvious. Reinforce the areas with the most holes. More armor where the damage is. One mathematician disagrees. His name is Abraham Wald. He says, armor the empty spaces instead. He's right. And the reason he's right will change the way you see every success story you've ever admired. Welcome back to Rolling Dice Theory. Today, we're rolling the dice on survival itself. Here's the logic everyone missed in 1943. The planes they were studying had one thing in common. They made it home. The holes in the wings? Survivable. The plane flew back anyway. The real damage, the shots that actually brought planes down, hit the engine, the cockpit, the fuel lines. Those planes never came back, so nobody studied them. Nobody could. The data wasn't wrong. The sample was wrong. You were only looking at the survivors. And survivors, by definition, are the ones who got lucky exactly where it mattered. This has a name: survivorship bias. It's not a flaw in your logic. It's a flaw in your evidence. Your brain does perfect math on an incomplete dataset and never notices the dataset is incomplete. Your brain didn't evolve to analyze absent data. It evolved to notice what's in front of it. For most of human history, that was a good deal. If a berry bush is in front of you, eat it. You don't need to model the berry bushes that don't exist. But this shortcut has a cost. Your brain treats visible as a proxy for typical. And visible and typical are not the same thing. The planes that didn't make it home were invisible. So they didn't factor into the decision. That's not stupidity. That's architecture. Your mind runs on the data it can see, and it quietly assumes that's the whole picture. It almost never is. Fast forward 80 years. The planes are gone. The bias never left. It just changed uniforms. Take the college dropout billionaire. You know the names, 3 of them, maybe 4. Now here's the question nobody asks at the dinner table. How many people dropped out that same year with that same idea, that same confidence? Thousands. Try tens of thousands. Where are they? Not on a stage, not in a documentary. They're at a desk somewhere, quietly employed, and nobody's filming it. We didn't ignore them because their story is boring. We ignored them because we couldn't see them. Failure doesn't get a highlight reel. Same trap, different room. The stock market. Someone in your life put money into one stock and tripled it. You heard about it within a week, probably at a barbecue. Did you hear about the 9 other people at that same barbecue who made the identical bet and lost 30%? No. Because losing quietly isn't a story. It's just a Tuesday. And the trap gets sneakier the more scientific it dresses up. Cold showers, 5 a.m. wake-ups, journaling before sunrise, paraded as the cause of success. Nobody profiles the person who does all of that. Cold shower, 5 a.m., journal, and still has a mediocre year. That person exists. Statistically, they have to. You just never meet them on camera. Here's the uncomfortable part. Every one of these is Abraham Wald's plane, wearing a hoodie instead of a cockpit. We keep reinforcing the wings, because the wings are the only part of the plane that ever comes home to show us. Pause the video for 1 second. Actually, do this with me. Think of one piece of advice you followed because it worked for someone. Now ask yourself 3 questions. 1. How many people tried the exact same thing and I never heard about? 2. Am I only seeing this because it succeeded or because it's actually reliable? 3. What would the invisible version of this story look like? If you can't answer question 3, that's the tell. That's survivorship bias operating on you right now, in real time. Comment your example below. I read these, and I'll probably use the best one in a future video. Here's where it gets genuinely useful, not just clever. Survivorship bias isn't a reason to stop admiring success. It's a reason to stop treating one success story as a strategy. Wald's insight wasn't, armor is useless. It was, look for where the evidence is missing, not just where it's loud. Applied to your life, that means asking a different question. Not, what did the winners do? Not, what did the survivors have in common? Ask instead, what do the winners have in common that the losers who tried the identical thing did not have? That question is harder. It requires you to imagine failures you'll never meet, but it's the only version of the question that actually predicts anything. This is the difference between a rulebook and a myth. A rulebook holds up when you check the failures too. A myth only survives because the failures went quiet. This is exactly why this channel exists. We keep being sold the idea that life is chess. Calculate the right moves, get the right outcome. Follow the formula, get the result. But life runs closer to a dice table. Multiply your rolls, and some outcomes cluster at the top. Not because they played it perfectly, but because with enough rolls, someone always lands on double sixes. The plane with the bullet holes in the wings wasn't the best designed plane in the sky that day. It was the one that got hit somewhere non-lethal. Success stories work the same way. The story you're hearing survived. That's the only thing you actually know about it. So next time someone hands you a proven formula for success, ask where the wreckage went. Because here's the uncomfortable twist. The smartest people in the room are often the easiest to fool with this bias, not the least intelligent. Intelligence doesn't protect you from an incomplete data set. In fact, it can make the story more convincing because a smart brain builds a better narrative around bad evidence, and that's exactly the subject of the next video. Life is an endless series of dice rolls, but you can learn to count the probabilities. In the next episode, we're breaking down why smart people make catastrophically bad financial decisions because of one hidden bug buried in how the brain processes risk. Subscribe to Rolling Dice Theory so you don't miss that breakdown. Because the moment you stop reinforcing the wings and start looking for the empty spaces, you start seeing the whole board.